Alright guys, it's time to move.
I'm on the movie, been the foundation. It's time to move. 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 Yeah, it's time to move. 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 Hey, it's time to move. It's time to move.
What's good, my beautiful people? This is R from DJR Union, and I am back again to bring you guys another deck profile. In this video, we'll be doing a deck profile on Rurouni Kenshin, specifically Purple Rurouni Kenshin, basing it around the 10 swords. Now, if you've seen our earlier videos when I went head-to-head against Wild TCG, which you can check down in the description box below, you know that this deck is actually pretty fun, a little bit difficult, but once piloted correctly, you can have some insane results. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on into this deck profile, shall we? So to start things off, we're going to be playing 4 copies of Soujiro Seta. This is the main star of the show. As you can already tell, this is the main engine, your main fodder that you're going to be basing this deck around of. So of course, we're going to have to be playing 4 of the Soujiro fodders. Going next, we're going to be playing 4 copies of Cho. This card, as you already know, allows you to filter into your deck, allowing you to draw 1 card as well as pitch a card afterwards. A good way to dig deeper into a deck to find your core engine and your core value pieces. Next, we're going to be finishing off our 0 cost with 4 copies of Kamatorari. Now this person is just another 0 drop just to add to your list of 0 cost cards to run into the deck, as well as it being active triggers, which is also good when it's being placed into your life. But what they also add to the table is that they are able to, when played, add 1 KBP to any of your frontline characters, which can be very good when you're trying to start swinging with overwhelming amounts of oppression. Going into our 1 drops, we're going to be playing 4 copies of the 1 cost Soujiro Seta. Now, of course, this is just another raid fodder for you to go into your more powerful players, but also this Soujiro also has a unique effect that once he's sidelined from an ability, directly from deck to sideline from an ability, he has or is able to come back onto the field set to resting by you pitching an additional card from your hand. So it's a really good way to be able to cheat this card out for free, I should say, and be able to lead into your stronger plays. Finishing off our 1 drops, we're going to be playing 2 copies of Yumi. Now, just like Cho, she also has an effect that once she's played, you're able to draw a card and discard a card as well. This is another good way to be able to filter through your deck and be able to get your main engine, your main game plan started. She also has an additional effect that once she's sidelined, if you control a Makoto card on the front line, you're able to rest one of your enemy's frontline characters. This will be very beneficial and very helpful when you're trying to stall out your opponent or buy yourself an extra turn to be able to make that comeback play. Going into our 2 drops, we're going to be playing 4 copies of the 2 energy cost Makoto Shishio. Now, I really like playing these cards. I've seen a lot of deck profiles where some people are hesitant to play this card as a 4-up, but you got to understand, this is a 4K body for only 2 energy. I think this is the strongest 2 energy cost character card that you can play out onto the field as of right now, unless there's some other card that I don't know about. But it does have what most people consider a drawback, that you must place a card from your hand back to the top of the deck. But to me, that's also can be proven as a strength as well. For when we get into a couple of later cards, you'll see just how beneficial this effect can actually be. And also, like I said before, just being able to get a 4K body onto the field as early as turn 2 is pretty beneficial in my case, or in my eyes, I should say. Finishing off our 2 drops, we are going to be playing 3 copies of the Phantom of Bakumatsu. Now, what this card basically does is that I'm able to take a character card, or specifically a 10 swords, either a 10 swords Makoto or a Soujiro character card, and place it back on the top of my deck. And in doing so, I get to re-stand one of my AP cards. And since all the character cards or all the creature cards that we play in this deck, except if Makoto, 10 swords, or Yumi base cards, we're always going to be able to get a restand AP to be able to further extend our plays. And like I said, this card is very crucial in being able to set up for some of our stronger plays later on. And not only that, but I also want to add is that once you figure out, once we get into, I should say, the cards that we're going to be really going over, you're going to further understand why I like to play this as a 3 of. Going into our 3 drops, we're going to be playing 3 copies of the 3 energy cost Soujiro Seta. Now, not only this Social Seta is able to generate 2 energy on the back line, but it also has the ability that once it's played, you're able to look at the top 3 cards of your deck and be able to find a Soshiro, a Makoto, or a 10 Source Affinity card and add it directly to your hand. Give and take, like I said, you do have to take a card and place it into your sideline afterwards, but I think this is very beneficial to be able to dig deeper into your deck and be able to find the key pieces you need to set up for your powerful plays. Now, going into one of our main heavy hitters of the deck, we're going to be playing 3 copies of the 3-cost Makoto Shishio. Now, once again, being of 3 energy and able to generate 2 energy on the back line, really good and really solid option, but it also has some additional effects, whereas that one, if it's at 5k BP or more, it's going to get impact 1. So it's a nice way to, it's a nice impactor to trigger off to be able to swing in for damage when you're trying to close out games. And to trigger this effect, or to get to that 500k BP, it has an additional effect that once per turn on the front line, you can mill the top card on your deck. And depending on the energy cost of the deck, this card gains 500 BP for the times the energy cost. So if you mill a card with, like say, an energy cost of 4, this is going to get another 2k BP, directly pushing it up to 5k BP. But that's not all. Let's say that you only mill a card that is of 2 energy cost and only buff it up to 4k BP. You can simply follow it up by playing the Kamatari onto the field to buff it up by another 1k BP, hitting that 5k threshold to give this card impact. And the reason I like to play this card as a 3-of, because I want to see it as frequently as possible, because it is one of our main key pieces for our main combo of the deck. Finishing off our 3 cards, we're going to be playing 4 copies of We'll Start Taking Over This Country, aka our 2 Restand AP cards. There's nothing to say. Run 4. Going into our 4 cards, we're going to start things off with our kill spell, the 10 Sword Summon. Basically, for every, this card is able to kill a character card whose BP is equal to or less than the amount of 10 Sword Affinity cards. In addition, but not only 10 Sword Affinity, but also Yumi and Makoto cards that you have on your field, which is basically all the character cards we play. So we can actually kill characters on our enemy side that are as high as 8k BP, which turns to me is a pretty good and a pretty nice kill card at that. Next on our 4-cost list, we're going to be playing 3 copies of the 4-cost Makoto Shishio. Now, the reason I play this as 3, because 1, of course, this card does require 2 AP, so we don't want to be flooding our hands flooding our hands with it by running 4 copies of it. I feel so 3 is just right. It's a good ratio. But getting more into what this card actually does, when you play this card upon declaration, you can decide to discard a character card or 10 swords card, if I remember correctly, to have this card enter onto the battlefield active. But not only that, you are also able to, once this card does enter active, you can mill the top card of your deck, and depending on the energy cost, of that card, you can kill a character on your opponent's side whose BP is equal to or less than that energy cost. So if you activate this Makoto's effect, mill a 4 AP cost card, that's basically a kill spell in of itself. So for me, I feel so that's very powerful and as a 4k beater, so I feel very confident with playing this card as a 3-of. Next, going into our next 4-drop, we're going to be playing 4 copies of the 4 energy cost Soshiro Seta. Now, I really like this card, and for what this card does, it has a nice little effect that once it's on the front line, you're able to, once per turn, reveal the top card of your deck and decide whether to keep it up there or put it into your sideline. It's a pretty simple effect in of itself, but let me just say that this deck can get really saucy with that effect, and you're going to understand just how saucy this card can be with it real soon. And to finish off our deck, we have the man of the hour, definitely too sweet to be sour. We are playing 4 copies of the 4-drop Raid Sojiro. This is the prime time. This is your main card. This is the main focus of the deck, because this card has so much utility around it, it's not even funny. For what this card does, for once, if this card is sent from the deck into the sideline, you are able to immediately raid this card onto the field if you have the required energy cost. So enough is that it's already a pretty busted effect. But in addition to that, once it's played, you're able to draw a card. Or should I more specify that once it's played from the effects from outside of your hand, you're not only able to draw a card, but you're also able to have this card enter with impact 1. Now, also, once per turn, you are able to take this rated card and place it on top of the deck. That's where this card becomes super scary. And I'm gonna show you just how scary that is. So let's take these guys off to the side and just leave it with this one. And let's pair it with this Sojiro right here. So let's say, for example, I activate this Sojiro's effect, puts it back on the top of my deck. I now activate this Sojiro's effect to reveal the top card. And now I am able to put this card into the sideline. Oh, what just happened? I just triggered this guy's effect to be able to now take him from the sideline and raid him back onto the field. Pretty good, am I right? But there's more to it. Let's say this guy's in my hand. Let's say I activate this Sojiro's effect. I activate this Sojiro's effect. I look at the top card of my deck, and let's just say for craps and giggles, it's another raid Sojiro. You know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and raid it, bring it up, get an impact, get an extra draw off of it. Pretty neat, right? But there's something even better. I have this raid Sojiro in my hand. All right. So let's say this. I raid on top of this Sojiro. What do you think I'm gonna do? I'm gonna activate this Sojiro's effect and put it back on top of my deck. Guess what? This Sojiro now counts as a completely new card. You know what that means? That means that I can use its once per turn effect again, because it's not a hard once per turn, and because this card was rated and now derated, it now counts as a new character. So I can just simply use its effect, and let's say, like I said, reveal, boom, raid, trigger the effect, draw a card, get impact, activate this guy's effect, put him back on top of the deck, boom, it's a new card. I'm gonna use it again. Use it again. Raid back on top. I now get another draw, and it has impact. That's the play that I got 2 draws off of. And I don't even have to raid it back on this one. I can raid it on another Sojiro that I have probably chilling on my back line and even get more value with it. And let's say, and let me show you what that more value is. Let's say I play this card set to resting. Activates its effect, rebuild this Sojiro, boom, it's now rated. Activate this Sojiro effect, put it back on top of the deck. Boom, this is a new character, but guess what? It's active. It's not set to resting like it was at the beginning of my turn. This bad boy is now active, and I activate this effect again, rated on another Sojiro. Now I got 2 active attackers ready to start swinging. Now you're starting to see the power of this deck and seeing just how smooth and just how nice and how saucy this combination can be. But that's only part of the combo. Remember when I said that this guy's also another crucial piece? Because let's say that you don't have this guy onto the field, or you already use this effect, and you know this Sojiro is on the top of your deck. I can just activate this Makoto's ability. I can reveal this card, raid him up, and now this Makoto now has up to 5k BP and impact. I now have 2 impactors onto the field ready to start doing some damage. Oh snap, what happens if my Sojiro dies? It's in the sideline. I have no Sojiros to raid when it starts doing some damage. Well, now we have this bad boy. Because what we're gonna do with him, we're just gonna activate this effect, put the Sojiro back on the top of the deck. Oh boy, I have my Makoto still on the field. Let me activate this effect. Boom. What do you know? There's a Sojiro. He's right back where he is. This man just keeps coming back. And there's many more that we can do. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna show you just what more that this deck is able to do with it. Let's get the 4-drop Makoto out on the field, man. Let's get him out. He's a kill spell in of itself. We play him. Let's say we sack a card, comes in active, activates ability. We know this Makoto's up top, reveal it, boom, 4k BP. Let's kill someone on the enemy's team that's a 4k BP or less, and get a raid back on top of it. That's right. That's right. We are doing combos and we are looping plays left and right because this guy is just gonna keep coming back no matter what. Even the only way that I can see you getting rid of this is to banish it. It's to banish it. And you better hope that I don't have another one lingering anywhere because Heck, we're just gonna complete the process, do the process all over again. Wanna know why? Because we have these 3 cards right here. This is the main engine of the deck. This is what you want to build a deck around. This is the one of the end game boards you are trying to get to fully bring out the power of this deck, and I really like how you are able to do it. Now, I ain't gonna lie, there's a little bit of work behind it. You gotta be able to sequence this deck completely or perfectly, not perfectly, but almost perfectly. But once you do, I guarantee you the payoff is well worth it. And there you have it. Now, I know a lot more people are more interested in the red Kenshin or as well as the purple Saito deck, since it's taking a lot of the meta by storm, but I'd like to take a step back and focus on a more off-branded deck that not a lot of people are paying attention to and just bring it out to the light. So without being said, I've been R from VCR Union. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Peace.